Wait,
Hello, Mommy Upgrade viewers. Guess what? I have friends here today. Hold on.
Hello.
Hello, my friend Anna.
Hi.
There's my friend Natalie, who we literally plucked out from the pool.
Yay!
Literally.
sunscreen intact.
So, wanted to say hi, everybody. Mommy Upgrade, obviously, that is all about moms, and it's Mother's Day weekend. So, I have some really cool stuff to give away for you. And I thought, what better way to do it than maybe share some of our funniest mom moments, right? So,
That's right.
yes. So, this kind of started because I was listening to an interview on, Kiss FM. Kiss FM. And Kelly Raspberry was interviewing her mom, like funniest mom moments and all these little questions and stuff. And one of the things I have to give away is one of these mom storybooks.
Oh.
And it's full of questions, and you get your mom to fill it out. And then you have like this keepsake forever and ever. So I thought that I would ask a couple of my friends here, and we would share our funniest mom moment, our most embarrassing mom moment, and then maybe a couple of random ones from here. But first, let me show you what we're giving away. So, if you saw my segment on K10, let me flip this. If you saw my segment on K10, I have this awesome Alex and Annie Wonder Woman bracelet, because who's more of a wonder than your mom, right?
That's right.
Any mom. So we have this. Yay! And this is actually donated by the Vintage House in Carrollton. My sweet friend Nan there wanted to donate this to all those super moms out there. So she's got plenty more of these. So if you don't win it tomorrow, yep.
Oh, expect it.
If it's not,
It just may not
if it
make
doesn't
it.
disappear.
May not make it back in the.
Oh no. We have this mom book that we're going to feature here in just a second. I also have 2 advance tickets to the Crayola experience that is opening at Willow Bend Mall in spring of 2018. And these are good through, you can see, July of 18. So they don't have the actual open date yet, but these will be honored whenever it does. So that's super cool. All right, this I'm drooling over. I'm hoping I win it. Can I win it? I want to win it. All right, so it's this cool, I guess, is this a cosmetic bag?
A little travel bag.
You could use it
That's
for
a lot of
sunscreen. You
cosmetics.
could
I
use it
don't
for
carry that
everything.
much. But anyway, your vibe attracts your tribe. Loving this.
I love that.
And then this, I fell in love with these at the Vintage House as well. And this
That's
is
super cute.
actually,
Is it recycled?
no, I don't think so, but it's
it feels
oilcloth.
vinyl.
And so it's
so
a
it's waterproof.
Consuela bag. So
I
you can
love
find them
that.
on the the Facebook. But this is like oilcloth. It's just stuffed with some plastic in here so you can see it better. But the inside is coated as well. So
That's
this is
super
like
cute.
perfect for wet swimsuits or mom's summer snack bag, you know, because you can't put everything in the cooler.
Or drink bag.
Or drink bag, yes. Yep, we could do that too. Anyway, love this. And here's
Just
the
a couple
brand,
ice balls.
Consuela. All right.
That's super cute.
Yeah,
It's super
totally
cute
fell in
colors
love
for
with
summer.
this. Bought one for myself too. So okay, and so we've got the your vibe attracts your tribe. Let me see what brand this is. This is from Gratitude. Again, all this stuff came from the Vintage House, with the exception of the Crayola.
Where
tickets.
is the Vintage House?
So the Vintage House is, I don't know that. Yeah, it's right at where 35 and Beltline come together. Where old downtown Carrollton is.
Downtown Carrollton.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a
Downtown
pink
Station.
house.
Okay.
It's bright pink.
It's on the north side of Beltline on the 35.
Got it.
Yes. And it has the most amazing curated collection of Vera Bradley. She's got more Vera Bradley than any of the stores, because, you know, the stores only have the current patterns. She has all the previous patterns, and she puts them on sale all the time. So if you like Vera Bradley, like, that's the place to go. Sorry.
Pink. You can't miss it.
Yeah, it's bright pink.
It's bright pink.
And her son and her daughter work in there, and everybody in there is just so fabulous and nice. So this, I'm going to show you Wonder Woman.
That's
And
super
then
cute.
if you were watching on K10, or you can go to the blog, you can see how I made my Wonder Woman glass.
Fabulous.
There might be wine in that.
Or
And
mimosa.
then there's this book. Okay, and so these, they also have them for Dad's Day too. So if you like
Oh, that's
kind of this
cute.
concept, it'll give you a little bit more time to put it together, maybe
Exactly.
for Dad's Day. And there's some like this that you give to your mom. There's some that you do for your mom. All kinds of stuff. Okay. All right, so let's get started. All right, so which should we start with? Most embarrassing mom moment or funniest mom moment?
Mine could be either way.
I'll start with embarrassing mom moment because I'm not sure what my funniest mom moment was yet. I might know my funniest mom moment. Okay, but my most embarrassing mom moment, and the cupcake will kill me, but she's outside, so she won't know. So we were shopping in Neiman's, and we were in the kids department, and she was 2.5. She loved Neiman's because they had that little BMW car, and she would drive it all the time. And yes, my in-laws were in town, and actually, I was with Hammond, my husband, and he was waiting for us, like, in the suits department or something like that. And she's looking at this giant ballerina bear, and she had to have this ballerina bear, and we're negotiating, right? Like,
Yes.
never negotiate with a terrorist. So then I hear this noise, and I look over, and she's completely peed all over the floor. And I'm like, oh my God, what do we do? Do we run? Do we duck and run? Or do I, like, own up to it and tell the sales ladies, I'm so sorry, there's an accident over here. Somebody's child peed. I think it's pee. I think maybe it's like spilled Coke. I don't know.
You act like she's not related to you.
I don't know. Not my kid. I don't. Some lady just ran out here. No, I owned up to it. I went to the sales lady. I was like, I am so sorry. My child just peed over there. What kind of potty training and all? Yes. And she goes, oh, honey, you wouldn't believe the kinds of things that happen on this floor in here. And I was like, on that note, I'm just gonna scamper out of here. And Hammond had been texting me, where are you? Why aren't you coming? I'm like, there's a little issue in the children's department I'm gonna handle first. Yes, so that was probably my most embarrassing moment. So who's ready? You know yours?
Well, would you say embarrassing to me from my mother or embarrassing to my children, me being the mom?
It could be either way.
I would say my most embarrassing as the child from my mother. My mom is a nurse and has been one for 40 years. And she had gone to a health fair in the hometown where I grew up in Wyoming. And I was going to school at Oklahoma State. And every 2-3 weeks, my mom would always send care packages. And they would have, and all my friends knew because there was always food in it. And, you know, when you're a college kid away at college, and, you know, crackers, popcorn, everything, all sorts, the peanut butter, whatever, be shoved in there. Well, this was around Valentine's Day, and she thought it would be really, really cute and funny to throw in some candy condoms that she had picked up at the health fair.
No.
And I lived on a co-ed floor. So all the boys came running into my room, hoping to get like crackers popcorn.
They got something else.
And
Special delivery.
and they had asked if they could open the box because they knew who it was from. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm sure it's just another care package from my parents. And my buddy, who happened to be just a good friend of mine, goes, Anna, I don't know if your mom sent this. I'm not going to open it. I'm not touching it. And I was like, why? What's wrong? He goes, just come take a look. And so, of course, I dumped the box out, and there's candy condoms with chocolates and all these pamphlets about, you know, venereal diseases and STDs. And yeah, so that would probably be my most embarrassing moment from my mother. That was super fun.
Oh my gosh. That's
yeah.
hilarious.
That was fun. She liked to do those sort of things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
My
about
goodness.
her speed. That's about right for her.
She's like, I just want to make sure you were being informed. I'm like, thank you very much. And now all of my floor mates know it too.
We're all informed.
Exactly.
We're all one big, happily sex-educated family.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, Natalie, what you got?
Probably one of the most embarrassing moments I had as a parent. I think it happened. I have 3 boys. My boys are a little older, and this was when my number one he had to be about 2. And I was always in the car. We were always doing stuff and, you know, like doing errands. And a friend of mine had recently moved into a house, and she was allergic to dust. It was kind of one of our mom group friends. And she had actually moved into this house, and they had pulled up the flooring, and there was a lot of dust everywhere. And I was telling this friend of mine over the phone, I was like, I don't know how she's going to do that, being allergic. I was like, her house is so dirty. I was like, and that's what he heard, is her house is dirty.
Oh, no.
He didn't hear any other part of the conversation. Mind you, he has a complete oral memory. So the next time we see this poor dear friend of mine, he says, my mom said you have a dirty house.
Oh, no.
And I was like, that's no. I said you were allergic to dust. And I was wondering how you were holding up with the floor being, and so that was super duper embarrassing.
Yeah.
It really had me backpedaling for about 20 minutes.
You still friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was like, huh. And I was like, wait.
Let me add a little context.
Back it up, slow your roll. I was like, don't give me crazy eyes. I go, hold on. And she's like, my mom said that your house was dirty. I heard her on the phone. I was like, oh, sweet baby Jesus. So that was super duper fun.
Yes.
And then there was a time, I'll tell you one more short one.
Okay.
There was a time that my number 2 told a guy at Lowe's, a rather large gentleman of the working class, to pull up his pants because it was rude.
Oh, no.
And I was like, and I just took my little shopping cart at Lowe's. I turned around and I left into the other. And my number 1 goes, are you going to leave him? And I was like, he'll find us. It's fine. It's fine. And the guy, I heard it, he was really nice. He's like, oh, yeah, you're right. You know, you're right. I don't have my pants. Because, I mean, his pants were about halfway down and you could see.
Oh, no.
And he had the same problem because he was so thin that I'd tell him all the time, pull up your pants. Pull up your pants. Why? Well, it's rude. No one wants to see your underwear. So that's where I got it from. That was a good time. That was a good time.
I'm sure we've all had the incident too where your kid has always gone in the grocery store line, and I was pregnant with my number 2, and my oldest girl looked at a lady behind us and said, Mommy, she's got a baby in her tummy like you. And we didn't know if she was pregnant or not pregnant, and the lady was not pregnant.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, remember, we don't talk about what people look like. We just keep our mouths to ourselves. We just say, oh, she's pretty. We always compliment people. We don't ever talk about whether they might or might not be pregnant, because sometimes they're not, and we don't want to point that out. Those are always fun.
Those are always fun.
Okay, so those are most embarrassing mom moments. How about funniest mom moment? It's a little harder.
I do remember, I do have one. My number 1 was in kindergarten, and they were reading a book. And the teacher told me about this. We were reading a book about penguins. And were having circle time, and they were all reading, all sitting cross-legged. And she's like, you know, and then the penguins, and she turns the page, go into the cave to mate. And all the kids were like, mate? Mate, what's mate? Mate.
Oh, no.
And my number 1 pipes up and says, that means they go have babies. And then everyone else was like, oh, okay. And everyone else seemed to be okay with that explanation. And she was like, okay, that's handled.
That's good.
Next
Okay,
page.
Keep going. Yeah, my oldest would always do, she was always the bossy, like the first child, very independent, very,
That's true.
very anal about everything. She'd throw her blanket out, and if a corner came up, she'd have to redo the whole thing instead of just straightening out the corner. And so she's very meticulous with everything that she did. And when I was on maternity leave with my second child and was cleaning out like the bathroom closet, because you're just like stuck at home, you feel fine, but you're not going back to work yet. So I was like, oh, I'll just take this opportunity to clean out the medicine cabinet and the bathroom, just kind of get everything organized and sort of like a mini spring cleaning. And apparently while I was doing that, she had decided to take one of my maternity Kotex pads that they gave you at the hospital that are, the size of a small 2x4. And she
Those are
stuffed
sexy.
it. Yes, they're super sexy. Exactly.
why you don't have
The
kids
small
right away.
mattress. Yeah, the small mattress that you put in your pants. And she had taken it with her to school and for show and tell.
No.
And had
You
told.
did you know?
No, I did not know.
Oh, no.
And but I did know that afternoon when I went to pick her up, and the lady at her preschool had said, "Oh, honey, have I got a story for you?" And I was like, what did she do today? She's like, well, she brought a little show and tell object with her that she said was hers because you told her it was for girls. But I'm pretty sure it belongs still to you. And then she showed me. And of course, that was also the day that the dentist came to school to show them all how to properly brush their teeth. And so she had to show the dentist. So I just had to roll with it because she would pull stuff like that all the time. So I was like, oh, okay, great. Awesome.
That's hilarious.
There's nothing like getting kicked in the teeth like by your kids.
They're
I
humbling.
mean, getting thrown under the bus. It is a humility.
If you want the truth,
Check.
they will tell you.
Goodness.
Yes.
I mean, you've never seen so much karma come back to you.
Exactly.
It all ends up coming back.
Oh my gosh, I don't really have a funniest mom moment. I mean, the funniest thing that she's funny all the time,
Right.
but probably the most publicly funny thing that she did, she was probably 2.5, and she wanted to see Barney, because Barney came up to Stonebriar. And the line was like 3 hours long to wait for Barney. And so we waited, and she was patient, and she waited, and we met Barney. And I was like, okay, let's get out of here. Let's go. And then she sees a sign for Kelly and Chica. And she's like, oh, Kelly and Chica, I have to see Kelly and Chica. They were like the morning show on Sprout.
Oh my God.
And they did Kelly would do the weather forecast, and they had little songs. Anyway, she was really into Kelly and Chica. So then she says she wants to wait in line for Kelly and Chica. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Wait, that's going to be a couple more hours. So the deal was when you got to meet Kelly and Chica, you went up on the stage, and then Kelly would do the weather with Chica. So I'm like, this is not going to happen. She's not going to hold out. So she holds out. She all the way gets up on stage. They're asking her things, and they're putting the microphone up, and she's just like whispering, and answering the questions. And then one of them comes out, and she's supposed to name what the pictures are or something. I can't remember. It's on my YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
And a pizza came out, and then there was a little, a cone hat that you get. And she had been quiet this whole time, and she gets to that one, and she gets the microphone, she goes, "Party hat!" And everybody just hit the floor and was like, what?
And now I need to order.
And Kelly was like, dang. She had to catch herself. It was really, really funny, but it wasn't embarrassing.
Oh my God, that's pretty funny.
It was cute. It's one of those things that moms love. It might not be funny to anybody else. Okay. Oh, look at this one I turned to. All right. Anna, you're first.
Okay.
Question is, and this is from this book right here. Mom, what are 1 or 2 things you did that you didn't tell your parents about?
But I did that my parents didn't find out?
Yeah.
1 or 2.
I lived in a small town. My parents knew. I thought I would try to get away with everything. One time when I was still 14 and a half, I learned how to drive early. And I thought I would not get caught picking my sister up from school after practice for volleyball practice. She was 2 years younger than me. And because it was raining, I didn't want her to walk home in the rain. Granted, it was only 6 blocks. But, that's a long way when it's
so
raining.
sweet.
And I was very thoughtful.
Yeah. In other words, you wanted to drive.
Yes.
Okay.
And I only had this 1 block section where I'd have to cross over from our street down this, the main road that was 2 blocks to the other street to where the school was. And in that 2 block range, one of my mom's coworkers saw me.
Of course.
And told my mom at work about an hour later and was like, I didn't know that your daughter had her license. And my mom's like, oh, she's had it for quite some time. When I got home, she's like, you have 1 chance only. Were you driving my car today? I'm like, oh. So it didn't matter. Even if I tried to keep it from my parents, I always got busted. Probably until college. But then again, you're kind of out of the house, so it's like you don't really say a whole lot to your parents then. So
Yeah. You're kind of on your own. Man.
Yeah. You got anything?
mm,
Are you afraid she's going to watch and find out?
No, she's not on Facebook. I'm safe.
plus, she's out of the country, so
Oh, there you go.
But still, she could get on possibly if she wanted to. But I think that there was a couple of times in high school I might have snuck out of the house through the laundry window. So when we have a kind of a ranch style house, and the laundry window faced the outside, and you had to go through like these really big bushes, and there was all these roaches in the bushes.
Oh no.
So I'd be
really
like,
wanted to get
I
out.
was like, how bad do I want to go?
Yeah.
And every night I'd have that because my mom was in bed by 10 p.m. She worked, she worked a full day, and so 10:05, I'm like, how bad do I want to go? How bad do I want to go today? So I would keep like these rain boots outside in the bushes, and I'd be like, and I had to be quiet. I had to be quiet because there was someone else sleeping on that side of the house. So no matter how many roaches climbed up my leg
Oh, did
in
they
my
make
cute
it in
little
the boots?
shorts, because it's the spring. I had the boots on, but the roaches, and I had to make it quick. So I was like, ah! And then I'm like running, and then it's always a fun time.
No.
But I don't know if she knew exactly how many times I was stinking out. I don't know. I think she had an idea, but I don't think she really realized I was stinking about.
I think
4
that's
times
one of
a
those
week.
things she didn't want to know.
Oh, she wanted to know
Oh.
because we'd get in trouble. But I think that there was a good time where I think that she didn't know. So
I was really good at hide and go seek when I was little. Yeah. I mean, I could hide in the dryer. I crawled in the dishwasher once. That one freaked her out the most. 'cause
Dishwasher?
She couldn't find me for a couple hours, and I was in the dishwasher laying on
Did
those
you take a nap?
spikes. I don't know. I don't remember. Yep, I used to hide in the doghouse a lot outside with the dog. I mean,
yeah.
I guess that would be,
That would
be
drive
sneaky.
a mom crazy.
So, yeah, I mean,
That's probably why she went back to work.
it's
She's like, I can't take
this anymore.
She goes, I can't take these fools any longer. I'm out of here.
I was more like Calvin and Hobbes. I wasn't really sneaky.
Mischievous.
I was extremely mischievous. Yes.
How about
And my mom would tell me, "I hope you have one that's 10 times worse than you. That would be my revenge upon you."
that's your karma. These are kids.
Exactly.
All right.
You know.
All right, this will be the last question.
Okay.
What rules did your parents have, and which ones drove you crazy?
God,
if I
which one?
If I was going to
Yeah.
be during the week, if I was going to be out after, I guess I would really when I was driving more. If I was going to be out past 11 or 12, depending on if it was a weekday or a weeknight, I had to call. They didn't care if I was staying the night at somebody's house, but if I didn't call by curfew time,
Well, and that was
then,
before cell phones. too.
Yes, and
So
you
you
didn't
had
know
to find-
anybody
You
where
had to
anybody
find-
was.
you
You had to find a phone.
And if
Pay
you
phone,
didn't call,
somebody's phone.
there was severe punishment when I got home.
Yeah.
And being in a small town, you couldn't tell them, "Oh yeah, I went over to so and so's house," and then be out at somebody else's place because the next morning she'd find out.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, dude, seriously, again.
Probably I had to be home. Even I wasn't really allowed to go out during the week. If I was, that was like a special occasion, like something random. But during the week, I had to be home by 10. I mean, weekends. Had to be home by 10. Didn't matter what I was doing. Had to be home by 10.
Which is why you went back out by midnight.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm out of here. I was like, okay.
Check in, yeah.
Oh, and on Sundays we had to go to church, so it didn't matter if you spend the night with your
Yeah,
friends,
I had that.
or if you were, if you stayed out
Yep.
at a birthday party and you guys stayed up till 2, whatever. As long as you know, you'll be home by 9 so that we can go to church. I'm like,
Yep.
so all my friends, I'd be like at sleepovers, I gotta get some sleep or I'm never gonna get up in the morning. But
But see, they make us good people, right? So mine, so many rules. I think the one that drove me the craziest when I was younger was I always had to take science. If there was an elective, I always had to take science because my dad and my stepmom were scientists. And they believed that science was super important. Like even in college, I could either choose, because I was a journalism major, I could choose a language track or I could choose a science track. And they're like, oh, you're going science. And I was like, but I think that Spanish would help me. I think that's sort of like an up and coming thing, Might be helpful. And they're like, no, science is going to get you so much further. And I was like, no, really, I think Spanish would be good. And they're like, science. If you want us to pay your tuition, it's science. I was
You're like, science it is.
like, so I did science.
And now that you're living in Texas as a journalism major,
I know.
yes,
I
what a-
can't even
That
talk to my
science-
maids.
That science really is coming in handy.
It's
isn't it?
super, super
'Cause
important
you know
for me.
exactly how to hold your phone the right distance from us. Thank you, Mother.
It is, absolutely.
That's science.
And the lighting.
gosh, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That right there, science.
It's gold.
Okay, so, all right, I need to wrap this up because I have to get Tegan to her basketball game. But it's Mother's Day. So think about what's the one thing that you remember the most about your mom a trait that she has that you wish you had, or maybe you do have.
I'm a little impatient, and I feel like she was more patient. She was also impatient to a certain extent, but I feel like she kind of let things go more than I do. Like, like you hear the kids talking in the back, and you're like, oh my God, just be quiet for 1 second. You're like, shut your mouth. And she never, she just kind of let us do her thing, like my brother and I were talking in the car. She never shushed us or anything, and I find myself kind of getting impatient like that. Like, oh my God, be quiet, I'm gonna duct tape your mouth. And she always just kind of like, we were the whisper twins growing up. So we always but I feel like she was a little more patient than I was. And I kind of,
Patient.
I'm working on it though. It's a work in progress.
That's right.
So yeah, I think the patience thing.
I think my mom is. I think she's more forgiving than I am at first. Like, especially when someone has like stabbed you in the back or done something that's really hurt you personally, emotionally, everything. She's able to forgive and forget faster than I am. It takes me a lot longer to be able to do that. A lot longer. But maybe one day I'll get that way when I'm her age. But for now, it's very,
In
very
the
hard.
next 30 years.
Exactly. Something I can work on.
Yeah.
Sorry, so it's a goal. There you go.
It's a work in progress.
life
I think
goal.
that's what motherhood is. It's a work in progress, I think.
Gosh.
For sure.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of things I do wrong every single day. Yeah. And of course, 3 people watch you and they're like, you did that wrong. So,
Yeah, it's always fun to be corrected by your children when they say, or like you're saying something and you're like, that's not what you said. I'm like, yeah, it is. No, you said blah blah blah, and I'm like,
I have it on video.
well, what I meant was
you took
You
that
misunderstood me.
exactly.
Understood me.
Exactly.
Oh, no. It's like, you're not Beyonce. This is what it is.
Exactly.
All right. Well, my battery is dying, and I have a basketball game, so we're gonna wrap this up. I want to thank
My friends here, Anna and Natalie.
Happy Mother's Day.
you and happy Mother's Day to everybody. Now, remember, we have all this stuff to give away. So, if you will comment below the answer to any of those questions that we asked today, and kind of share stuff about your mom or growing up or whatever about your mom, and I'm going to randomly draw. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 giveaways. So we want to give Miss Nan, who's like my adopted mom, because my mom's not around and my stepmom lives way out of town, so she's like my adopted mom. So we want to give her big hugs and thanks for the Wonder Woman Alex and Annie bracelet. Yay! This cool book. Yay!
Awesome bag.
This and Consuela. All right. And then moms, we know you love to spend time with your kids, so we've got these giveaways too. So comment below something about your mom or answer one of the questions that we did, and we'll choose randomly on tomorrow for Mother's Day. Okay, bye guys. Happy Mother's Day.